So for today's lesson, we're going to cover negative exponents. First thing we're going to do is go over our homework / classwork from yesterday. So if I gave you g to the negative 2 times g to the negative 4 times g to the 7th power, they all have the same base. And remember, it's base, and then up top in the right-hand side is the exponent. They all have the same base, which is g. So what we're going to do is we're going to add all of the exponents. So we're going to have g to the negative 2 plus negative 4 plus 7. Negative 2 plus negative 4 gives us negative 6. Negative 6 plus 7 gives us 1. So your final answer would be g to the 1, or you could just write it as g. If there's no exponent there, then it's understood to be to the first power. I give you guys in parentheses 5a over 3, all of this raised to the third power. What you have to do is you have to distribute down this third power to each and every term in here. So it would be 5 to the third, a to the third, all over 3 to the third. Next, you do 5 to the third, and we get 125. 8 to the third is 8 to the third, and 3 to the third is 27. So your final answer would be 125 a3 over 27. Now I give you guys 13 times x to the negative 8 times 3x to the 10th. First thing, you would multiply 13 times 3, and then since combine like your like variables, so you have x to the negative 8 and x to the 10th power. So what you're going to do is x to the negative 8 plus 10. 13 times 3 gives us 39. Negative 8 plus 10 gives us positive 2. So your final answer is 39x squared. Now this one's a little tricky. You have m times n to the 14 times m3n times m to the negative 2 n to the negative 6. What I like to do is I like to group all of my m's together and all of my n's together. So this first m, it's to the first power. This one is to the third power, and this one is to the negative 2 power. So what I do now is m to the 1 plus 3 plus negative 2 times, now I take all my n's and put them together. N to the 14, n to the 1, n to the negative 6. So it did that. N to the 14 plus 1 plus negative 6. 1 plus 3 gives us 4. 4 minus 2 gives us 2. 14 plus 1 gives us 15. 15 minus 6 gives us 9. So your final answer would be m squared n to the 9th. Any number to the power of 1 is that number. So if I gave you 100 to the first power, that would be equal to 100. 0 as an exponent. For every non-zero number a to the 0 power is going to be equal to 1. 4 to the 0 would be equal to 1. Negative 3 to the 0 would be equal to 1. 5.14 to the 0 is equal to 1. 0 to any power is equal to 0. So 0 to the 4th is 0. And 0 to the 125th is also 0. So today's featured pet of the day. This is my sister's friend's dog. Her name is Pandora. Pandora is a dog model. She likes to have her pictures taken. As we can see here, she's modeling, she's posing, she's looking fantastic. 10 out of 10 would recommend Pandora as a dog model. So negative exponents. For every non-zero number a, an integer n, a to the negative n is equal to 1 over a to the n. So if I have 7 to the negative third, that's the same thing as me telling you it's 1 over 7 to the third power. So when you have a negative exponent, what you have to do is you have to put it into the denominator. When you do that, the exponent now becomes positive. If I give you negative 5 to the negative third, well, we don't like this negative exponent, so what we got to do is make it positive. And how do we do that? We got to put it down into the denominator. So you're left with 1 over negative 5 to the third power. And then if we wanted to go ahead and simplify that, you would do negative 5 times negative 5, which would give you positive 25 times another negative 5 gives you a negative 125. As a reminder, a positive or an even exponent or a negative number to an even exponent is going to be positive, and a negative number to an odd exponent, that's going to be negative. So if I give you this to simplify, 9 to the negative 2. So to solve it, you would put 1 over 9 squared. And 9 squared is 81, so your final answer is 1 over 81. Let's try simplifying exponential expressions. So now I give you 5a to the third and b to the negative 2. Our goal is to get rid of that negative exponent. So our negative exponent here is b to the negative second. So to get rid of that b to the negative second, it's the same thing as doing 1 over b squared. Remember, when we put it into the denominator, it becomes positive. So we take everything else that's a positive exponent, and we do 5a to the third times 1 over b squared. Now we multiply straight across, because when we multiply fractions, you go straight across in a line. So 5a3 times 1 gives us 5a cubed over b squared. And that is your final answer. So let's do this one. Let's practice rewriting using positive exponents now. Well, when the negative exponent is in the denominator, we have to do something a little different. 1 over x to the negative 5 is the same as doing 1 divided by x to the negative 5. To do that, it's 1 divided by 1 over x to the 5th. Really what we're doing is now we're going to be multiplying by x to the 5th, because when you have a fraction in the denominator, you have to get rid of that fraction, and the way to do that is to multiply by the reciprocal. So like I just said, I said that when dividing by a fraction, you're really multiplying by the reciprocal. So what you're going to do is flip it. So our final answer here would be x to the 5th power. What I like to do, the little trick that I do, is when I see it's in the denominator, I automatically bring it up into the numerator. And the second I move it from the bottom to the top, the exponent now becomes positive. In these examples over here, in this one, what I would do is I see this b to the minus 2. It's already up top, so I want it to become positive. So what do I got to do? I got to now make a fraction and put it in the denominator. When I do that, it now becomes positive. Now we have 4 times c to the negative 3 times b. So you're going to keep the positive exponents where they are. Our positive one here is the 4, and the b. We got to get rid of this c to the minus 3. So now we have 4b times 1 over c to the third power. So now multiply straight across 4b over c to the third. That's how you would do it one way. The way I like to do it, I see we have 4 times c to the negative 3 times b. Drop that c to the minus 3 into the denominator. Once we do that, it now becomes a positive 3. So your final answer would be 4b over c3. Two ways to do it, this I would say is like the longhand way, where you have to take that negative exponent out, make it 1 over whatever it is, and then times everything else that's positive. Or whenever you see this negative exponent, automatically know you got to drop it down into the denominator. If it's not a fraction already, now you're going to make it into a fraction when you put it into the denominator. And if it is a fraction already, then you just keep adding into that denominator. So like in this example here. So you have 5a to the negative 4 over 3x. Well, we don't like this a to the negative 4 up in the numerator, so we have to drop it down into the denominator. When we do that, we get 5 over 3 times x times a to the 4th. The second we went ahead and put this in the denominator, it now becomes positive. So for you guys, your homework is going to be posted in Plus Portals. Please make sure you're submitting your assignments on time. Your name should appear on your page with your homework assignments, and also on Friday, April 3rd. Friday, April 3rd, I believe. Yep, on Friday, April 3rd, you guys will have a quiz on the law of exponents. If you guys have any questions, make sure you're emailing me with your questions. Have a great day.